Welcome back to Reddit Rewinds, where we bring you the darkest, strangest, and most chilling stories found on Reddit. Tonight's tale comes from one of our subscribers. She wanted to share something that happened in her family, something connected to her brother who passed away years ago. This is her story. My brother died when I was 7 years old. He was 13. He drowned in the lake at the end of our street. It happened in the middle of winter, but my memory of that day feels cold, in a way that never thawed. My parents never touched his room after that. They tried once, stood in the doorway, but it broke them. It's too raw, too final. From that moment, the door stayed shut, and the room became a kind of museum. His books, his posters, his clothes, all of it frozen in time, untouched for over a decade. That was 11 years ago. His room still looks the same. This morning, while I was packing for college, I decided to finally go in. Nothing dramatic. I just thought maybe I'd take one of his hoodies, maybe a keepsake. Something small, something that would make me feel closer to him when homesickness hit me. I've been in there plenty of times before. Sat on his bed, traced my fingers along the spines of his books, glanced at the dust gathering on his shelves, but I'd never dug through his drawers. That always felt like crossing a line, like taking apart the shrine my parents had built. But today, I broke that rule at the bottom of his dresser. In the lowest drawer, I found them. 3 DVDs, plain white, labeled except for the numbers written in black marker. 1, 2, and 3. I just held them for a moment, They felt oddly heavy in my hands, heavier than 3 discs should. I thought about keeping them, maybe even watching them. I set them back in the drawer and picked up a few hoodies instead. That was the plan. Just leave them there. But that night, they began to call to me. I know how it sounds. I know you think it was just my curiosity eating away at me, but it wasn't like that. It wasn't in my head. It felt physical, like something pulling at my chest, dragging me toward that closed door across the hall. The later it got, the stronger it became, until finally I gave in. I crept across the hall in the dark, slipped into his room, and locked the door behind me so my parents wouldn't hear. The air inside was cold, stale, like the years had sunk into the walls. I sat cross-legged on the floor in front of his old TV. The DVD player was still hooked up there. It was the only one left in the house. I slid the first disc into the tray. At first, static, harsh white noise. Then the picture shifted, blurry, distorted. The camera seemed to be in a house, maybe ours, but something was wrong. The furniture looked too big, then too small, warping every time the frame jittered. 1 second, it looked like a living room, the next, a bedroom, then a hallway. Nothing held its shape, no faces, no clear forms, just flickering shadows that didn't match what the voices were saying, because there were voices. Laughter, the sound of dishes clinking, my mom's voice calling my brother's name, my dad answering faintly, and then his laugh. My brother's laugh, it hit me so hard I couldn't breathe. 11 years gone, and suddenly he was here again, alive in the sound. I sat frozen, tears stinging my eyes, just letting it wash over me. For a moment, it was everything I'd been missing. For a moment, he was real again. And then another voice came through, low, deliberate, wet, like something whispering directly into the microphone. You haven't noticed yet. And then the video cut to black. My heart was hammering. I fumbled with the remote and replayed it. I had to. I needed to hear him again. This time, I paused every few seconds, desperate to understand what I was looking at. But the rooms never stayed the same. The walls bent strangely. The colors were washed out, like a memory that had been copied too many times. It made my brain ache, like trying to force a puzzle piece where it doesn't belong. And then I stopped the video, just before the laugh. That's when I saw it. faint yellow text in the corner of the screen, burned into the frame like a TIMESTAMP. July 30, 2015. 7 months after my brother drowned. I froze. My first thought was that it was a glitch. Maybe the camera's clock was set wrong. Maybe the date had carried over from an old recording. I forced myself to believe that, shoved down the panic clawing at my throat. Then I pressed play again. His laugh filled the room once more, warm and bright, wrapping around me like a memory made flesh. I almost smiled, almost let myself believe, but then the voice came back, closer this time, wet, broken, static, cutting in and out between the words. You noticed, okay? I ripped the DVD out of the player and hurled it across the room. It clattered against the wall and spun on the floor. And I sat there, shaking, a breath loud in the silence. I don't even know why I did it. Instinct, adrenaline. My body moved before I could think. I bolted from the room and into my bed, pulling the covers over my head like I was 7 years old again. Like hiding could save me. Now I'm lying here in the dark, heart still racing. The rain has started outside, tapping softly against the windows, but the dripping faucet in the bathroom sounds different tonight. Louder, heavier, not like water, like footsteps, asterisk. And in the room across the hall, 2 discs are still waiting. And, I can't stop thinking about it. What happens next? What's on the 2nd and 3rd discs? Is it some twisted prank, or did this family really uncover something beyond explanation? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to find out what happens next, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. Here on Reddit Rewinds, new episodes come out every single day. And trust me, you won't want to miss the continuation of this story. Asterisk.